My father was in the Army, and so deployed often. My mother had to manage a household of 6 children and kept us involved in the community. And so when I became a young mom, I never forgot the values and the sacrifices that my parents instilled in me, the values of hard work and commitment to our community, the sacrifices she made in having a social life to ensure that her kids had a home cooked meal every night, to ensure that we had a roof over our head. And those are the same values that all of our families want, and that's how I managed to navigate being a single mom. It wasn't an easy decision, and when there are people in this world who are now making decisions about what a woman should and should not do with her body, that was an important decision that I had to make. We passed a budget that ensured our educators were made whole. Contracts were fully funded for our educators at a time when we're losing our educators and we're demanding so much more of them. I was really proud to work with my colleagues to ensure our educators are working in an environment where they can afford to live. Making a living more affordable, the first zoning text amendment, my first piece of legislation, I sponsored with Council Vice President Andrew Friedson, passed unanimously. I introduced it with the Council Vice President. This ZTA accelerated the process for approving mixed-use developments. I think it's very important that in a time when we just are on the back end of the pandemic, the recovery of the pandemic, that we now have information that we did not have before. And I feel like now is an opportune time to take advantage of how we can approach public health in a better way, in a more proactive way, a preventative way. We know where the disparities exist, and we've seen programs created overnight to address these issues in our community. We have to ensure affordable access to quality care for all of our residents. I feel like the inclusion of women at a time where decisions are made about women without women was so important in our county. Over 50% of our population is made up of women. We're leading most of these households, and yet we're still not paid the same as our male counterparts, and yet we're still required and expected to do the same sort of work.